Man, that was a fight. Had to work real hard for that one. So I managed to get 190 for 5, but there was just one set. The thinking was I should be able to get 3 sets of 5, because the other day I got 180 for 7 sets of 5 at 180. So my logic served me in such a way that I thought, okay, 190 for a few sets should be all right. But that day where I hit the 7 sets of 5 at 180 took a lot out of me. And I think I need a few more days to recover from that one. I think I'm underdone. Walked in today feeling not the strongest. I knew the moment I touched the bar, the moment I started moving through the range of motion, I felt the hips, I felt the thighs kind of not all that happy to get into some of these ranges of motion that I need to get into. So I knew it was going to be a bit of a struggle today. I took extra sets, extra long breaks between sets. I did some marching around the place just to loosen up the hip flexors, the glutes. I did all sorts of things to loosen up a little bit. I even took 160 for a set of 5 just as a kind of feel out set. I had thoughts about jumping from 140 to 190, but I know I take big jumps, man, but that's a massive jump, man. That's a huge jump. It would have been like a cold freaking shower to my central nervous system. It would have freaked me out. So I took 160 for a 5. Then I took a whole bunch of minutes and I went under 190, and my Lord, he felt not too bad. Like the first rep was not bad. Second set, the second rep wasn't bad, but man, when I got to the 4th set, I proper got scared there, man. I have this tendency to go onto my toes, and that's not I don't think it's a lack of mobility, because when I'm doing 140, 160, 180, in these comfortable kind of rep ranges, I'm okay. But when the going gets tough, my sort of intuition, I don't know what is happening there. I've been kind of thinking about it ever since the set. Like, what makes me go onto my tippy toes almost? Is that a quad weakness, back weakness? I don't know what it is. But all I know is that 4th rep was a messy rep. And normally I would just kind of jump from underneath it and kind of just dump it on the ground. But I stuck with it. And I was managed to grind it out. I managed to grind that thing out. And also the 5th set, I kind of recuperated myself and went, okay, weight on the heels, let's do it properly. And it was a fight. The 5th rep was a fight, but I managed to grind it out. And now all I'm thinking about in my head is what Chad Wesley Smith said a few months ago. I made a video about this, but I watched that same video of his a few times he's got a couple of videos about whether your squat is lacking leg drive or back drive or whatever you want to call it. Is it a leg weakness or a back weakness? And he had a really interesting thing to say about it, saying that if you cannot grind weights out, you have a back weakness. And that's something that he has as well. And he's on another level in terms of squatting ability. And, he's a record holder type of athlete. But he says that when he kind of gets in the hole and gets out of the hole, he stops halfway and there's no grinding for him. Once the legs give out, there's no more. He can't lean over, he can't muscle that thing up, he just has to dump it. But some lifters, they get in the hole, they come out of the hole, and they get stuck in the mid portion. They are able to essentially good morning that thing up, man. They can muscle it up, and that's thanks to that back strength. Because you have to remember, our deadlift is usually, in 99% of the population, the stronger lift. And so if you assume those positions, when you get trouble in the squat, you kind of assume that deadlift position, you should be able to kind of, fight your way through it in a messy, non-safe kind of way. So that kind of resonated with me and kind of sent me down the path of RDLs, back extensions, all those things that I've kind of been pursuing the last few months. And I've kind of had really good results. Now I have confidence. When my legs get tired, I don't just bail. And a few of you guys have said to me, you've been watching me for, a few months now or years. You said to me that, a few of you guys have said that I bail too easily. It's not that I bail too easily. It's just I feel like once the legs kind of give out and I start to kind of deviate away from that optimal bar path, I get into worse and worse and worse positions and I can't. Like my back can't catch it. And that's an interesting thought to think, because my deadlift is by far ahead of my squat. So I don't know. It's a lot to process to understand exactly what body part is lagging, what body part needs strengthening. But today, that 4th rep, that 190, I was really happy that I was able to save it. I had the confidence. I was like, I've been here before. Like, I can rep out 200 kilos RDLs. This is the position, man. This. I'm happy here. So I was able to kind of pull it out, even though it wasn't the greatest, even though I'm under recovered and still, dealing with the stress that I had 2 days ago with the seven sets of 5 of 180. This is a PR, man. This is like, I've never done 190 for any sort of reps, and I managed to hit 5 today. So next session I'm hoping to get 2 sets of 190 and so on and so on. That next session, the volume session that I'm going to have, is going to be a morning session, a 5 a.m. So that's going to be really interesting to see how it goes, because I'm not in the business of dropping 190 kilos on the floor in the middle of the night, because that's might as well drop a nuclear bomb into the suburb, because that's going to wake up half of the suburb. So it's going to be interesting how I go with it. I'll warm up and I'll see how it feels. But if I feel the way I feel today, I'll probably want to attempt 190 because of this idea of dropping the damn weights. I don't want to do that to my neighbors. But all in all, I'm quite happy with the session. I mean, I was able to gut it out. I don't know. Yeah, I reckon this is the last rep. That was and once again, the screen doesn't do it justice how I felt within. I felt all sorts of compensations going on within my body, trying to fight the weight up. It was a real muscle job, and I was feeling dizzy here, tired, jelly legs, all that stuff. But I was happy I got out of it at the end. It's just, not fully healed up. I'm not fully ready after that massive volume 2 days ago, which is fine, right? Because you make the stimulus, there's a stimuli, and you're supposed to wait for the recovery. Usually in the last long period of time, I have been the sort not to kind of overreach so much, but these 5s are making me overreach. 7 sets of 5 is overreaching no matter how you do it. So I need to allow that traditional type of thinking. I need to allow some recovery to happen. That doesn't mean bed rest. That doesn't mean ICU. That doesn't mean I take a freaking annual leave and do nothing. Still move, still introduce blood, but don't have crazy ass exertions. I probably could have attempted the second set. Usually the first set feels the worst. And then the second set kind of feels all right. But because the first set looked like a grinder and I felt like I was under fire, from flanks and from rears of all sorts, it was a fight. I decided not to go down that path and make it messy, because really, if you think about it, those are the moments where you feel you are the closest to risk of injury. And you guys know me when it comes to all of that. Even though I was quite happy with my core and whatnot, it was a battle. And I don't want to have a battle like that for several sets. I'm happy with 1 set to save my life, but to make a business out of it, I don't want to do that. A few more names to mention today: Alex Caffrey and George W. Appreciate you guys. Like I've said in the last, I don't know how many videos, your names keep popping up, and I keep thinking to myself, what the hell is going on? Just a blessed feeling. Nothing much I can say than that. Really appreciate of what's going on. So I'm having some really good discussions with you guys on Patreon. It seems like it's a easier platform to kind of communicate than on YouTube. YouTube, I don't get half of the notifications. I get the new comments that come on, but like replies to replies, I never get that. I don't know what it is, but I never get those. Anyway, I'll leave it at that. Shorter video today. I'm gonna go in the house, try and recover and get some hydration into me and some food, and let's see what I can do tomorrow. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.